It's both from the stripe. So as we end the first quarter, already a double-digit ball game. It's Chicago up by 11. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn.
I think it's been noticeable.
I think you'd have to say that Gasol's decision to go to Chicago, Clark, was great. He clearly gave it a lot of thought. It's hard to imagine him having made a better pick.
You know, I agree. Not only is he happy, but so are his teammates, Ask Rose and Noah and Butler. Those guys love playing with him, and you can see how the change of scenery rejuvenated the big Spaniard, too.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Bulls.
Well, in the first half of play, they're closing out aggressively, blocking shots, a key indicator of their activity on the defensive side.
You know, they've also shown some real tenacity here early on tonight, and it's paid off with a lot of second chance points.
So for Chicago right now, Freak, he's in at shooting guard. Noah is out there with Portis. Then there's Nikola Mirotic, and it's Brooks in at the one spot.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money. And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
And the basket by Kilpatrick.
Still trailing, but their offense is off life support here in the second quarter. It's got a pulse.
Good point, Clark. They're starting to make some shots, looking to try and get back in this.
Here's Freak. Bank shot, no good. Nets trail by 6. The dish now to Robinson. Pass to Kilpatrick. Kicks it to Sloan. There's a screen by Robinson. Just 5 on the clock. Puts up a 3. Sloan shot is off. The Bulls leading by 6. Brooks kicks to Freak. Here's Mirotic. And the Bulls with another miss. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. This is to Sims. Here's Kilpatrick. Powered down after the assist. Let him into the lane.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, they don't get much uglier than the quarter he's having.
Yeah, and it's not showing any signs, Greg, of turning around here soon. I mean, his touch has basically gone AWOL.
The Bulls shooting has been great, up over 50%. In fact, 52%. Here's Freak. Offensive struggles continue, missing again. Portis, the pass to Freak. True on the 14-footer. Freak's got his first basket of the night. Nets trail by 6.
All right, now, I want everyone here at the Barclays Center to welcome to the court your Nets dancers.
Quickly over to Doris Burke for an update. The clock runs out, and we're headed.
Hey guys, listen up. We've got a good lead, but lots of basketball left to play. First things first.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. A fantastic. Robinson's checked in for Bogdanovich. Brooks with it. Robinson is out there with Brook Lopez. Then it's Young. Then it's Jarrett Jack. And it's Kilpatrick in at the 2 spot. So that's the Nets 5. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Jack with it. Guarded now by Aaron Brooks. And it's Kilpatrick missing. Now Brooks. Feeds to Freak. The drive by Brooks. And so Chicago takes this one.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move forward now to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Jimmy Butler. He delivered quite a star performance. Not uncommon, as we've seen him have this sort of terrific night many times.
There was nothing they could do to slow him down, Ernie. Man, go into a building on the road and completely control the action like he did. Only a few players could do that, Ernie. I'm impressed.
He had point guard numbers tonight, racking up those 8 assists. It was a really unselfish performance. He kept the D guessing all night. You could never get comfortable with him, trying to figure out whether he was going to take it for himself or set up a teammate.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.
What a life, eh, freak? 1 minute you're playing 21 and horse on the courts in Harlem, and the next moment you're in the showroom, configuring the gunmetal and graphite exterior of your luxury car and your iPad mini. Oh, I bet you get a crazy crowd when you drive that car around the block in the old neighborhood, huh?
Yeah, living the dream. Bad pandemonium, but folks from back around the way are real proud of me.
Yeah, I hear you. Local kid makes good. You know, it kind of reminds me of when I took my tech stock public and I rang the New York Stock Exchange bell, and my mom's friends called her up and said, "Maggie, is that your son on Bloomberg News this morning ringing the bell?" And my mom says, "Yes, sirree, Bob, it was him." That was a great moment, freak.
Tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap. It's not, and I understand some of his judgment.
big homestand coming up. There's nothing better than playing in front of your home crowd, but there's also a certain level of pressure that comes with it. I don't get it done tonight, and that raises the sense of urgency even higher next time. So I'm just focused on this game and getting a W for the best fans in the world.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
We are live. It's a Thursday night presentation here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Doris Burke will be reporting from the sidelines. The Bulls happy to return to Chicago after the road trip. This, their first look at this year's Los Angeles squad. And not only a 1-1 split series between these two teams last year, guys, but both wins were on the road, so home court advantage wasn't that big an advantage.
It's not often we get to see this matchup, but it is a doozy when we do. Just two powerhouse teams facing off.
Really easy to tell that this is an important game, Greg. I mean, I don't know if the crowd will get a chance to take a breath in this one.
And the Clippers starting first. Dushin here for the Clippers. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Jordan. Pierce comes in for Blake Griffin. J.J. Redick's checked in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Austin Rivers in for Chris Paul. And that one's good.
The tenacity on that interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will for second. Chance points.
The dish to Pierce. 1:22 left here in the first quarter.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
On defense, the Bulls, they lead by 7. Hit some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good.
Boy, Doc Rivers keeps on leading his teams to successful seasons. A former coach of the year rarely has a season where his team doesn't meet expectations.
Oh, and here comes Rivers all alone.
That is such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
And it's one thing to get the steal, but to so alertly turn it into a transition opportunity, even better.
Mirotic gets the bucket.
Great three-point shooting here out of the gate. That makes 4 makes already from long distance.
String music scorching those nets. How long can they keep this up, though?
Here we go, one-on-one. Rejected by Pierce, and they'll keep possession. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Rivers against Noah. Here's Aldrich, and he banks in the layup. Aldrich has got his first 2 points.
That's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
You just cannot allow the offense to have that quality of a look each and every possession.
Here's Rivers. Can't hit the step-back jump shot.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. Bulls lead by 4. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. And here's Freak on his experience as a one-and-done college player. Now with more and more freshmen, Clark, making the jump to the pros. Here for the Clippers, Cole Aldrich. He's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Pierce comes in for Blake Griffin. Green, he's checked in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Rivers in for J.J. Redick. So for the Clippers right now, we've got Green. Austin Rivers is out there with Paul. Then there's Cole Aldrich. And it's Pierce in at the four-man position. Well, at this point in his career, Clark, it's safe to call Chris Paul one of the all-time great point guards.
Yeah, without question. I mean, for a long time, it was hard to argue that Chris Paul wasn't the top point guard in the league. Even now, you can make arguments for others, but Paul is always going to be in the conversation.
And Green gets it to go.
I'm not sure that was the play they had set up, but it was too good a look to pass up.
Chicago trailing here. Down low, here's Noah, and he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down. And with Paul, it is all about his consistency. Other point guards will have better years or stretches than him, but he just puts up huge numbers year in and year out, literally like clockwork. Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Here's Noah. Kept alive. Here's Portis. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. Portis has got his second bucket of the game to go. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Kicks it to Rivers. To the inside. Stolen by Noah. Ball against Brooks. He feeds it to Freak. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
Their percentage from long range in that game was off the charts. Seemed like anytime the fans got a little hostile, they just started to take it up a notch from beyond.
The bombs were really falling, weren't they? I mean, great shooting, especially when you consider it was on the road.
And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. It's the Bulls. They're up by 2. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Hi, Kevin. Well, Doc, as we get into the second half, what do you expect to see from this offense you're facing tonight?
Well, they're moving the ball. They're just playing to the hot hand, and we got to expect that. So let's not let anyone get hot. That would be nice.
Coach, thank you so much. Back to you guys at the table.
Thanks so much, Doris, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back in there for the start of the third quarter after this break. Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. A fantastic game from Derrick Rose in this one.
Yeah, you know, one of the things about the truly greats of our game is that sometimes you get spoiled because of how consistent they can be. And so far, another big scoring night for him.
And oftentimes when he puts up that many points in the first half, he follows it up with an even better second half. We'll see if that's the case here.
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. So for Chicago right now, Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. And it's McDermott in at the 3 slot. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Celtics wasn't happy with how he played. He picked up 5 points and he made them pay for their fouls, putting up a good amount of his totals from the line. A trend sort of developing now. It's been a streak of less than stellar games. These are hard sometimes to break out of, and we'll be watching to see him try to do just that, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thanks. What do you think held him back?
You know, he certainly didn't seem to have the same level of energy that we're accustomed to.
Teams changing it up here. And Chicago has possession. They trail by 11. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan. Paul out there with Rivers. And it's Redick in at the 3, the small forward.
Jeff Green, Jamal Crawford.
Outside, Pierce. Green left side. Great touch on the 16-footer. And the Clippers lead by 13.
And really no better feeling than to go on the road and play this well and get the win.
Yeah, it's always a good win when you play the kind of game they have played tonight. I mean, especially, though, when you get it done on the road. That's a special, special feeling there.
Nice shot by Portis.
And that putback about as easy a bucket as you're going to get.
Exactly what happens when you don't box out, Greg.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Outside, Green. Here's Rivers. The 18-footer is right on the mark. Rivers has got the lead up to 13 now for the Clippers.
Well, if it wasn't out of reach, it is now thanks to that last little spurt.
And why put the brakes on now? I just say keep on letting it fly.
So the Clippers winning this one.
Chris, how does a win like this help propel the team at this point in the schedule?
Hopefully it gives us a little momentum. We got a tough stretch coming up. We got our back.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Chris Paul. He had a double-double and made a huge difference tonight. He never let up, and his performance really inspired the rest of his team.
You know what? He's a total package as a floor general. It may not be an official ranking for the best leaders in the league, but if there was, CP3 would be right at the top of the list.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the chart.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the
The only color I care about is green, money. Now, you've certainly made some money so far, Freak, but it's time we make more money. I'm talking movies, TVs, endorsements, even your own brand Jordan sneakers.
I care about the game first, Dom. All that sounds great, but don't you think it's a little too early to be talking about all that?
Too early. LeBron was 12 years old in 6th grade when he was thinking Space Jam. It's never too early to take and make leaps.
I guess.
You guess. This isn't high school. This isn't college. This is the real world. And the real world is fueled by one thing.
Oh, money.
That's right. Money. Dollar bills, y'all. Why do you think they put presidents on them? Because that's what presides over us. I ever tell you guys about the first dollar I ever made?
Mr. Dom Pagnotti. Mr. Diamond and Platinum himself. It's a love-hate relationship.
What do you think about people who